Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Shin Kim. This is the class for the United States history. I'm gonna deal with today's topic actually is the Great Depression and the New Deal. Maybe around 2 weeks ago, I'm teaching about Industrial Revolution in the United States. At the time, what did I say? Uh, Laissez-faire. That means there is no interruption, no limitation, no government interruption on the economical business, business. So the USA government never actually tried to touch on the issue of economical issue. But because of a Great Depression, the economical policy has been changed. So today I'm going to deal with this issue. Around 1920, okay, 1920, there are a lot of prosperity. That means the USA extremely become rich country in the world. And because of the Industrial Revolution, there are so many cars, house, and even so many electronical appliance, including refrigerator, microwave, etc. And during the 1920s, Americans believed that the USA was a place of unlimited growth. Yeah, it kept growing, okay? And opportunity, freedom, and achievement. Still, yeah, around the world, maybe one of the country that has some growth, opportunity, and achievement throughout in the world. Maybe still I believe that USA is the #1 country in the world, okay? Still there are so many billionaires in United States. And if you look at the Tesla, like the Tesla, the CEO is Musk, still there is some opportunity for you to become the billionaire in the United States. And Americans were earning money, so much money. National income rose during the 1920s, $87 billion. Wow. Even maybe in that era, maybe I'm not sure about the exact amount of the money in South Korea 1920s. Maybe it's less than maybe 10 or 100 billion dollar. That's all. $100 billion. Yeah, that's all. I believe. I think so. But even, yeah, USA during the 1920s, the extremely rich country in the world. And people overextended to buy car, home, and stocks. Yeah, look at the picture. Because of the production of the car by the Ford, okay? Ford actually made easy process to making a car. And there are so many cars in the United States. And the home construction, and even the stock. Yeah, like the Apple or Google or Amazon.com, you may purchase the stock, okay? Stock, and the price is going up. Maybe you make a lot of money, okay? So especially the stock market was the key to prosperity, and urged to invest as much as possible. During that time, it's an industrial boom, okay? Industrial boom. So the price, especially stock, going up. Exactly around 3 years ago, before starting the corona pandemic, now it looks like the housing price is almost double, and including the stock, even car price is almost double up, okay? Comparing to 3 years ago, maybe 1920s, exactly the same situation, okay? During that time, many people buy the car, home, stock because the price going up. And yeah, even I tried to purchase the house. I recognize that, yeah, around 5 years ago, half million. Now, house is 1 million. Within 3 years, the price of the house going up 100% increase. maybe 1920s exactly the same economical situation. Everything is going up. That's why everybody wanted to buy the house, buy the stock as much as possible. Sometimes they borrow the money from the bank and they purchase the stock because the stock going up. They make a lot of money. So that's why exactly that kind of economical situation happened during the 1920s. And consumerism, that means they are spending more money than they were saving. So everything is so fluent, okay? Everything is so many. So people enjoying purchasing some good, okay, including car, clothing, electronic appliance, maybe etc. They buy the boat, maybe, yeah, because during that time there are a lot of money going around, and instead of saving the money, they try to spending the money, and it looks like economic situation is extremely good. And look at the picture, yeah. Everybody looks like happy, okay? They have a new car, new clothing, enjoying the leisure tour, become a tourist around the world, and they purchase new house, and look at the live picture. Women wearing luxurious clothing, luxurious car, and they actually they enjoy their life because during that time economic fluence, okay, economic growth actually bring a lot of money. They make that actually thing make them rich, and they spending their money a lot. So enjoy, okay, spend money because we're gonna getting another money from next month. That's why. And but there is some kind of a signal that there is some depression, economical depression. One of the things is that overproduction. Yeah, because of the industrial revolution, there is a new machine from the actually steam power to the electronical power. And in the factory, they made so many cars, so many stuff, so many clothing, and it was sold so well. That's why. Look at the graph, okay? USA gross domestic product. Look at it, and the middle actually area around 1929, 1933, it declined. Okay, it declined. But previously, in 1929, actually over 40%, 40% overproduction. Okay, now it declined because of great actually depression, and after that solving the problem by the New Deal policy, still the all the production is growing, okay, growing exactly the same thing. USA industrial production, okay, looks like the showing the same thing until 1929. At the time, finally Black Tuesday, okay, Black Tuesday. Stock market crashed. The price is going down, and there was a depression, economical depression. That's why when you look at the USA industrial production right side graph, and industrial production reduced, but as soon as solving the problem, the industrial production going up. Okay, so we may see what happened. 1929 through around 1933, almost 4 or 5 years, there was a great depression. Depression means going down, economy going down, people losing their money, the price of the house is going down. So exactly the graph is showing what happened during the Great Depression area. So we may guess, okay, we may guess. Because Great Depression has a lot of actually influence on especially the economical policy by the federal government. That's why when we deal with the USA history, actually we cannot miss this Great Depression. And there was a sign, okay, there was a sign of a depression. Unemployment was on the rise. So suddenly people getting lost their job. As soon as you getting lost your job, after that, what will happen to you? If you getting the job and make money, but suddenly you are fired for several months, what will happen to you? You cannot afford your rent, okay? Suddenly you can become the homeless. This kinds of economical crisis maybe will happen to you so quickly, okay? But around the 1920, middle of 1920, actually, there was a sign of a depression. People getting lost their job, unemployment was on the rise. And the farmers borrowed heavily from bank to pay for new technological equipment. There was a new machine. Machine is so expensive, so they borrowed so much money from the bank and they purchased a new technological machine for the better actually harvest. Okay, so they have a lot of debt, and suddenly stock price was dropping. Every value. As soon as the stock actually was dropping in price, everything going to drop. Okay, that's why. Recently, I heard that even I'm not economical specialist. Actually, I have some kinds of a beginner. I have a very little knowledge about economics, but I heard that the stock price was dropping. This is exactly happened 1928 or 9, okay? As soon as the stock price was dropping, that means the signal of the economical depression. And at the time, so many people actually purchased the stock from the money borrowed from the bank, okay? That means they are unchecked stock speculation. That means they borrow the money as much as they can from the bank and they purchase the stock. But as soon as the price of the stock going down, that means they losing their money and their debt is going up, but they don't have no money. They have no money to pay back, okay? That's actually some kind of economical depression. And weak and unregulated bank institution. At the time, as I said, one of the characteristics of in the economic area, the federal government never actually touch on economic issue, okay? Laissez-faire. 2 weeks ago, I explained about that. The government not doing anything. They do not anything for the economic. Okay, they never control the economic. The business actually depends on the company. That's all. They never touch on it. Even they never touch on the bank. But suddenly. The bank actually lent so much money to the people, and even in the bank there was no cash, and that's also another sign of the weak and the unregulated banking institution. So because of the industrial boom, economic going up, and in some point it coming down, that called actually economic depression. But unfortunately, during the 1929, it was so huge, and it was a national, looks like a national disaster. And one of also the problem is that unequal distribution of the wealth. The actually rich guy become more richer, but the poor become more poor. Okay, most of the country's wealth remain in the hands of a few people. As I said, Ford, Carnegie. Okay. Some actually, a few actually person holding monopoly. Monopoly means he actually occupied one business. One example, oil business. Okay, oil business. Actually, Carnegie owned the oil, and he controlling 100% of oil, so he can change the price of the oil. That's called monopoly. That kind of thing really happen, okay? Because the government never controlling the price. They never controlling inflation, deflation, okay? That's why. And that's why a few people actually holding so much money. In 1929, only 1% of the American population possesses over around 60%, 59% of a country's wealth. Only 1%, okay? Among there is, just imagine that. One person has, imagine there was 100 people, okay? But one person has 60% of the property. Other 99 people actually they should share 41% of property. So they show so much unequal. Look at the picture. This guy is a super rich guy, like the Carnegie, okay, Rockefeller, or J.P. Morgan, okay, super rich, and only a few people has more money than the majority. So we want change is needed, and suddenly they give a penny, okay, hey, this is my your change, and they holding so much money. Maybe it looks like the same thing still happen in the United States. A few people has the most actually property, most money in the United States of America, like the Amazon.com, okay. As I said, the CEO of the Tesla, Musk, actually he has so much money, okay? He is more than billionaire. Even though other people, majority of people actually doesn't have any $1 million house, but they have $1 billion of $1 billion, okay? Bill Gates, something like that. Oh, only 1%. Very limited person has the whole property of the whole money of the United States of America. That kind of thing really happened until actually 1920. Okay, and at the time Republican actually today is some kind of election day. Yeah, Republican and the Democratic Party. Okay, Republican Party. Democratic Party, they have a totally different policy. During that time, Republican president, okay, there was a Republican president, and the Republican economic policy was that trickle down economic from wealth to the middle and the lower classes. Look at the picture. He's a super rich guy. Trickle down economics, okay, trickle down economics. He holding all the money, okay. Only limited change he gave, he distributed it poor, okay. That called trickle down economics. Actually, Republican economical policy actually focus on the rich. That policy, economical policy, make the richer make more richer, and the poor become more poor, okay. That's the actually policy of Republican, okay. And benefit big business first. So big company first, and the second largest company is the second. And what happened to the poor? The last, okay, last concern of the government. That's why limited government intervention, as I said. Even though the richer become more richer, the poor become more poor, but the government said that that's none of my business. I will not touch on the economy, okay? That's your business, not our government business. And during the situation, unfortunately, yeah, there is so much economical, financial gap between the rich and the poor. And the business should be self-regulating. That's the government actually economical policy. Unrestricted capitalism, unrestricted growth. Economic depends on the company. That's all. And the guy who richer actually their facility expanded, and they increased the production, and the market is flooded a lot of good, a lot of stuff, okay? You go to the market, there are so many things, okay? Go to the Costco, go to the Walmart, you may see there are a lot of production, okay? So many production. and you purchase it, that actually make the richer the company, the factory, through the purchasing that thing, actually you made the factory more rich, okay, more richer. Actually, that thing really happened. That's why even though laissez-faire, okay, no limited government intervention on economic, and there was a bright side. There are so many big companies, as I said, in the United States. But the dark side is that the poor, middle class, and the low class, they has extremely hard time. Only the higher class, they enjoy their situation. So unfortunately, during that time, the Republican president actually was elected, and he actually performed Republican economic policy, and that's why actually there was a great actually depression. Look at the picture, and there was economical cause of overproduction. Okay, the factory made so many things, and that actually is connected to low demand. Okay, there are so many cars, and some cars not sold for example for 5 years. Okay, in that situation, overproduction actually connected to low demand. Okay, also that actually is connected lead to unemployment, employee layoff. You are fired, okay, because there are so many goods, and people actually don't buy it, and that means the factory no longer need to make it. Okay, that's why, hey, you are fired because our car is not selling. Okay, so that also connected to low wage. Okay, low wage. So low wage also leads to the consumer buying power. So high wage, as soon as you receive more money, you purchase more, but you receive less money, you reduce the purchasing. Okay, inflation is going up. One example, maybe a month ago, hamburger is $10, and suddenly 100% inflation. Now hamburger is $20. Now you don't want to purchase hamburger anymore. Okay, so that is actually called consumer buying power. So you, in your pocket, you have no money. No money means you don't have any consuming buying power. Okay, high tariff restrict foreign demands for American goods. That means the high tax. Okay, high interest also restrict foreign demand for American goods, and unemployment to reduce buying power further. So it is circulate. So look at another slide. Actually, cycling effect. Start from the bottom. Industrial slowed, which caused, okay, industrial slowed. There is no more. We wanted to close our factory. That is related to you are fired, unemployment, and you don't have money, and suddenly automobile sale declined because they don't have money. So how can they purchase the new car? So automatic sale is declined. The loss of demand means less demand. Okay, so less. Okay, that also connected to textile, oil, steel, rubber. No longer needed because the industry is slowed. That is also, that means everything is connected to each other. Okay, everything is connected to each other. As I said, there is a war between the Russia and Ukraine, and the Ukraine is one of the country to produce the developing in agriculture. They provide a lot of food around the world, but their farming area was destroyed by the bomb, and there was no food no more actually agricultural stuff in Ukraine. They cannot export it. That means other country, even other country who actually imported some vegetable, wheat, corns, but there is no more actually food in Ukraine. That means other country they paid more money to purchasing their food. Okay, everything is connected to each other now. Okay, also because of the war, the gas price is going up, more inflation. Now everything is connected to each other. Okay, even though yeah. Long time ago, if there is a war in other country, in other continent, that is none of our business. But in the modern day, everything is connected to each other, and there is a war. That war actually influence on other country. So economic situation is exactly the same, and everything as soon as the stock price is going down, and there is some signal that also the price of the house is going down. Okay, one thing is going down, other connected thing is also going down, and that connected that bring a lot of great economical depression. So that kind of thing really happened. Finally, a Great Depression. In the 1920s, middle class felt that they could make a fortune from the stock market, and the practice of speculation in which they make a risky investment. Speculation means they are risky investment in the hope of making a quick large profit. Many speculators borrowed 90% of stock value, and many bought stock on the credit, buying on the margin. And many investors speculated on also real estate. That means 1920s, the stock price is going up. So many actually Americans, they think that, okay, let's purchase the stock as much as. And but in their pocket, there was not enough money. So they go to the bank, they borrow a lot of money, and they purchased a lot of stock, okay, stock. So that kind of a thing actually called margin trading. Your deposit in your pocket, you have a limited cash, but you borrowed a lot of money from the bank from others, and you purchasing a lot of stock. Buying power is bigger than your money, okay? That called margin trade, or buying on margin. That means you have a lot of debt, okay? One example. You have in your pocket, you have $1, but the stock is $10. With $1, you cannot buy the stock. So you need $9, okay? You go to the bank, borrow the $9, and finally, with your money, $1, and the borrowing money $9, altogether $10. Finally, you purchase the stock, okay? Because you have hope. You expect the stock price going up $20. So I can make a $10 more. That's your expectation, okay? That's why so many people going to the bank, borrow the money. Everybody focus on purchasing the stock because of the industrial revolution, economic boom, everything going up, stock going up, the price of housing going up. That's why. That means the $9, okay? $9 is debt, okay? But suddenly, there was a stock crash, and suddenly actually Great Depression broke out, and the factory closed because there was so much actually production outside. So the factory no longer need to produce anything. So they fire the people. So that's why during the Great Depression, unemployment rate going up. Look at the graph. 1926, 1927, 8, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Look at 33. Around 37, make it easy. Okay, 40%. Okay, 40% of the population they unemployed. That means there is 10 working place. Okay, they 10 of them actually working, but suddenly among the 10, 4 actually lost their job. What happened to them? They have no money. They have no income. They have no food. They cannot afford their rent. They become the homeless. Okay. Just imagine that 40% of the population lost a job. That is huge, really huge thing happened during the Great Depression. So look at the picture. Everybody said that as soon as they getting lost a job, they try to find a job. I wanted a job. They going all around, but factory closed, store closed, bank closed, every store is closed, and they cannot find any place to find a job. That actually bring a lot of actually economical crisis to the USA. And finally, stock market crash. Okay, it called Black Tuesday. Much debt, stock price spurs up, that means they are going down, over production on the consuming. Finally, the Wall Street crash on October 24th, and finally on October 29th, 1929, actually that day was known as Black Tuesday, in order to selling at any price, slump of the stock market, panic selling. Suddenly, just imagine that. Previously, what did I say? The stock price is $10, okay? You expecting $10 going up $20. I can make $10, okay? Everybody expect that. But suddenly, $10 of the stock going down $1. Oh my God. You lose 19% of your property. That means you losing your job, you losing your money, you losing your house. That thing really happened, okay? That thing really happened. So even in order to selling their stock $1, how much did he purchase it? $10. But now the stock price is $1. But they afraid it going to 1 cent. So everybody going to the stock market and they try to selling it. They're calling panic selling, okay? The stock boom had been over, inflated bubble. Margin investors were decimated as every stockholder tried to liquidate. And then actually connected to bankrupt. I'm bankrupt. As I said, in your pocket you have $1. You borrowed $9 from the bank, and you purchased the stock in $10. But suddenly there was a stock market crash. The stock going to down $1, and you selling your stock in $1, and you're in your pocket. You have $1, but how much you own the bank? $9. You pay back $9 to the banker with interest, but in your pocket you have only $1. What should he do? He maybe selling his house, but housing price is going down. So that actually become a lot of tragic, okay, economic tragic to the American people. That's why Black Tuesday, it was still many Americans, even throughout the American history, Great Depression is recorded as a big disaster. That's why. So the even bank, what did I say? Bank borrowed $9 to the individual, but he go to the individual, hey, pay back $9 to me. But he said that I have only $1. What? And even bank lost a lot of money, okay? Then actually individual bankrupt related to bank failure, okay? Bank reserve depleted. That means even you go to the bank, there is no money, no cash. Many bank has no assets, no cash, okay? No cash. Even you go to the bank, hey, give me my money. But the bank said that, sorry, we borrowed your money to the investor, and there is no cash in our bank. What? So even the person who save a lot of money in the bank, they lost their money because the bank fails. Okay, no cash in reserve, no new money coming in. Everybody cry out, give me back your money. But the bank said that, hey, we don't, sorry, we don't have any money. So as a result, almost 40% of the whole United States bank, including 9,000 bank failed during the decade of the 1930. That means around 9,000 bank actually they closed because they have no money. So look at the picture. Everybody go to the bank, but the bank is closed. Hey, where's my money? Sorry, we don't have money. What? So suddenly everybody become the poor. Okay, everybody lost their money. That thing really happened. By the 1933, depositors saw $140 billion disappeared through the bank failure. Wow. If you sold your house and you deposit the money $1 billion onto the bank, and after the Great Depression, you go to the bank, hey, $1 million money back to me. Sorry, we don't have money. What? Suddenly everybody lost their money. Okay, so on the March 5th, 1933, actually the government declared a bank holiday. The bank, every bank is closed because they have no money. So they closed all the bank to prevent further withdrawal. Everybody, hey, back my money back to me. But bank said, hey, sorry, we don't have money. So that kinds of a thing actually really happened. That's why every American remember Great Depression, and it was global. That actually economic situation is not only limited in the United States. That kind of thing really also happened throughout the world. Okay, as I said, every country is connected to each other. It affected everyone, not just the USA. Steep decline in the industrial output and the risking level of unemployment. Look at the picture. Everybody lost their job. So many people actually they don't have any food in their home. So free soup. Okay, free soup. Look at the picture, left side. Okay, free soup, free donut. Unemployment only. So many people getting together in order to they have no 3 meal. Okay, only 1 meal per day. Suddenly, do you remember in the first picture? Prosperity. So richness in the United States. They have a new car, they have a new clothing, they have a new house. They have in their house so many food they throwing out. But suddenly, within some years later, everybody lost their job. Everybody lost their home. They selling their car. But even though there was no food, that's why everybody looks like become homeless, and they seeking for the free food, free soup. Okay. Another look at the right side of the picture. Line for restaurant. 20 meal, free meal. Okay. I will feed 20. Maybe restaurant owner have money, so he wanted to give some food to the unemployment, but only for the 20 people, the food is free. But look at the picture. Looks like several hundred people waiting for their turn. Everybody suddenly become the homeless. Looks like. Finally, whenever actually there is a disaster, and there was also a hero. During the Great Depression, fortunately, American has the president called Franklin Roosevelt. Maybe you may heard his name, Franklin Roosevelt. He is a new hero. He solved the problem. He solved the Great Depression. Okay, he suffered from polio. So from a baby, he has a disease, and that's why. He cannot walking well. Okay, he has a disease called polio. Okay, from the baby, and he was paralyzed. So sometimes he actually sit on the wheelchair. In 1933, he ran for the president, and he became the president of the United States of America. he went on to be elected 3 times. Usually, by the tradition of the United States, actually, the person, the president can be elected only 2 times. Okay, that's all. 2 times is maximum. But that time, during the 1920, 1930, there was a national disaster. So in order to overcoming the Great Depression, they need a good leadership, and they chose Franklin Roosevelt, and they elected him 3 times. Okay, he is only one president to become 3 times presidency. Okay, throughout the American history, because actually George Washington, he is the first and the second president, and after that he actually rejected to be president 3 times. That's why, that's the tradition of the United States. But Roosevelt, okay, Franklin Roosevelt, he's only one guy to become 3 times through the Depression and World War II. He inaugurated and initiated New Deal. Maybe you when you learn the world history, you may learn about it. Okay, New Deal. Yeah, he make a new economic policy. New Deal programs. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not economist, okay? So I don't know about the economic vocabulary, economic policy, but make it easy, try to understand what is a New Deal. The government expanded the federal, Franklin Roosevelt, he expanded the federal government role in the national economy. Finally, the federal government involved in economic situation. Federal government tried to solve the economic crisis. Previously, never. But finally, that's why, because of the Great Depression, the federal government economic policy has been changed. That's why, okay? He focused on relief for the needy, because just imagine 40% losing their job, 40% unemployment, 40% looks like homeless. They seeking food, 1 meal per day, okay? So the Roosevelt focusing on the relief for the needy. So many people, they have no food. Economic recovery, financial reform. The first thing is relief, okay? Provide a job for the unemployed and protect farmer from foreclosing. Even the farmers losing their home, their land, okay? So he give a lot of actually relief money to the people, to the unemployment. The government taking care of the unemployment, okay? Number 2 is recovery. National Recovery Act, get economic back into the high gear, priming the pump, okay? The government finally invest federal money to the economic recovery, okay? And also economic reform. Regulated previously, the federal government never touched the bank, but finally, federal government now they involve in regulating the bank. Okay, abolish child labor and conserve farmland. And number 4 is saving capitalism. Yeah. Definitely is seeking for the capitalism. That means the previous economic system is anyway the capitalism, and he saved the capitalism, but little bit federal government interruption. So higher price for the agriculture and the business, and he make the everything price is going up. That means the inflation. Okay, inflation. Because of the Great Depression, every price is going down, but he made everything little bit going up. Example, $10. Okay, previous $10, but the government controlling the price $12, little bit going up. He did actually the new program actually doing that. Government role in economic. Previously, as I said, government there is no government rule. But finally, because of the Great Depression, government role in economic. Paid farmers who agreed to reduce production such as cotton, wheat, tobacco, hog, and corn. Previously, what did I say? Overproduction. So many overproduction, okay? We need only 100 But at the time, the American farmer, they actually produce 200. But the whole people in the United States, they need only 100. But they overflood 200. That means their 100 is over production. So the government actually persuaded that farmers actually reduce their production, and also price control, little bit higher the wage, called over fair competition. Previously monopoly, one company control everything, but the government tried to distribute that monopoly into several companies. Okay. Also, the government created a partnership of business, labor, and government. Government involved in business. Gave outdoor work to unemployed men between age of 17 through 29. So there are so many, 40% of population, they lost their job. So especially government starting some big construction. Outdoor work means construction. They building the big building, they building the highway, building the bridge, and building the dam. That thing actually need a lot of labor, and suddenly, yeah, Roosevelt actually he established a lot of construction in order to giving the job to the unemployed people. Okay, that's why building dam, planted a tree to prevent flood. Also, government encouraging regional construction project like the TVA, Columbia River Project. Actually, TVA means the Tennessee Valley, some kinds of dam. Okay, left side is TVA, huge dam. Okay, they establish huge dam and make a more electronic. Look at the right side, so many big actually bridge was built, and that thing, so many people, they need a lot of labor, and the government could hire unemployed young people in order to the constructing so many building, bridge, highway, etc. dam. Okay, so in order to solving the economical disaster, actually Roosevelt start actually New Deal. That is one thing is including that event is big construction in order to give the job to many people. And previously, I don't care about your future. We don't care about your money. We cannot guarantee your retirement. But because of the Great Depression, finally the Roosevelt made the Social Security Act, okay, in 1935. I'm not sure how many you have the Social Security card. There is your Social Security number, your name, and as soon as you getting this card, you can getting the job. Social Security card. This is extremely important in the United States. Even me, I have it. Okay. As soon as I get it, that means I can have a job. And if I am fired, after that I have no money. But the government, the federal government, gave me the some money, okay, for 6 months during the unemployment period. So Social Security is extremely important now, and that's starting by the Franklin Roosevelt. Government has a responsibility for the health, welfare, and security, production, and education. Previously government was, the structure of the government is extremely small. Now, and weak. But now, because of the Great Depression, American government become the bigger and bigger and stronger, because they have more responsibility in health, welfare, security, production, and education. Government as an agency for the human welfare, okay? You lost your job. How can you make a living? The government, the federal government, you pay the tax. When you're getting the job, you pay tax. And as soon as you lost the job, the government starts supporting you, okay? That's the Social Security. Also, provide aid to retire, and the unemployment people with disabled, dependent mother and children. also redefined and the concept of the democracy so that it includes not only political right but economical security and the social justice as well. So as soon as you become the citizen, okay, getting the citizen of the United States of America, you are fired and the government feed you, okay, the government give you food and the insurance and some money, and they give the money to unemployment people, okay. They are so disabled person, okay, the person who cannot work, okay, the disabled, the government actually taking care of them. And you are divorced, suddenly, yeah, your husband died, and you should leave your children. How can you manage your life? Social security, okay, social security. The government provide economic help to you. That called actually Social Security Act, okay. So previously we said that there is freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of publication. But now finally the government join in taking care of the economic, and there was economic security and the social justice by the government. That's the actually big change through the inflation. And what is the lesson of a Great Depression? What did I say? Previously, before the Great Depression, the economic policy of the United federal government is laissez-faire. That means we don't care. We never touch on the industry. Okay, we never touch on the economic. It depends on you. But through the Great Depression, federal government recognized that failure of laissez-faire. Okay. So from the moment federal government involved in economical control. So lesson of a Great Depression, expansion of the role of a federal government in economic, no longer laissez-faire. Also the increased tax on large income and the corporation. That means you are rich, actually you should pay more tax, okay? You are poor, you pay less tax. One example. Maybe you are a millionaire, okay, $1 million per year, okay. Maybe your tax going to be around 40%. $400,000 you should pay back as a tax you pay back to the government. The government gathering 40% of your income, but you are only making money $10,000 per year. Maybe you can pay only 10%. That means the poorer, less tax, the richer, more tax, okay? So that's actually one of the tax actual rate in the United States. Also extended the federal control over the private banking. Well, what did I say? Bank failure, okay? So from the moment actually the federal government control the bank practice, and the government responsibility for the also welfare of the citizen. Previously you lost job, you are unemployed, you become the homeless, but the government never taking care of you. But as we know, there are so many homeless in the California, and the state government even they try to taking care of the homeless, okay? You are unemployed, you have no food, the government try to help you. That's actually one of the biggest difference between because of the Great Depression. Okay, thank you to listen to my lecture, and see you next week. Thank you.